everybody, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today, as you guys can tell from the title, I am bringing you all another album review. Debut full-length album called Pushback. I'm so excited. I love this album so much, and I love her so much. Jetty Bones, Kelsey, obviously. If you didn't know, they're a female-fronted band, but Kelsey is pretty much the face of the band. The members have changed throughout the years and everything, but she's kind of the main face of the band. So if I refer to the band as she or they sometimes, it's just because, they're the band, but also Kelsey is the face of the band and she writes everything for the most part. But they put out their debut full-length album Pushback, and I was so excited when I heard about it because I've been a fan of Jetty Bones since 2018. They had a few EPs here and there, but I was very excited to hear their first full-length album. So today I'm going to review that for you guys. Per usual, I'm going to go through each song on the album briefly and talk about my thoughts on them, and then at the end I will give my overall thoughts on the album. So without further ado, let's get started. The first song is Waking Up Crying. So I really love the different blending of Kelsey's voice in the beginning. I think it opens the album in a really cool way. It definitely opens the album on a very raw and honest note, and that is definitely a theme of the album, is honesty. And really a theme of like most Jetty Bones songs, I would say. Kelsey is usually pretty honest in her songs, which I really admire. One of my favorite songs on the album is Waking Up Crying because of its honest lyrics, but it's happy instrumentation. I can still bop to a lot of Jetty Bones songs because even the lyrics are sad, they just put me in a good mood with the beats, and this is definitely one of them. The fast spoken word section is super fun to sing along with, very Jetty Bones-esque. She has a lot of those in her older EPs, so really love the opening of this song. I think it's a very, classic kind of Jetty Bones song. I think it does a really good job at opening up the album. The second song is Nothing, and the opening honestly doesn't even sound like a Jetty Bones song for this one, which I love. It's a very experimental song. This song puts me in a really, really great mood. I love the dancey tune that it has, and also the saxophone in the bridge is great. I love they introduced the saxophone early on in the album because it does make a comeback later on, and that's something I really haven't heard from her. She really experimented with genres in this album, and jazz is kind of one of them, and I'm here for it. The third song on the album is That's All. This is the second single that was released, but really it's the first single that was released once we knew the album was coming, because the first single was just like a one-off thing for a long time. We didn't really know if it was going to be part of her debut album, so this is the first one that we really associated with Pushback. And it's a short song, it's under 2 minutes, but it reminds me a lot of a song that would be on their last EP. Like, it sounds like a very classic Jetty Bones song. If you honestly want to get like a glimpse into what their sound is, check out this song. I think it does a really good job at kind of hinting at what the album is going to be like, but doesn't give too much away. So I definitely understand why they made this the second single, and I think it was a really great choice. The fourth song on the album is Everything. This is another fast-paced song followed by a slow chorus, and it works really well, especially after the previous song, because that was kind of a more fast-paced song, and this one takes it to a next level and relaxes, the album a little bit, which I like. And I really love the attitude in her voice of this song. She really kind of delves out of her comfort zone. You can really hear, I guess, her emotions behind a lot of the lyrics in this album, and this is definitely an example of one of the songs where you can. And I really love it. It kind of, I don't know, makes me feel powerful. It gives me some girl power, which I love. The fifth song is Taking Up Space. This was the first single that came out before anything else was released, before the album was even announced. I forget when it came out, but it was a while before the album was announced. Like, it was just kind of there. I didn't honestly listen to it a lot. I really didn't even like this song that much. It's funny, by itself. I'd say that I disliked it, but I just wasn't wowed by it. I didn't think it was anything really special, but in the context of the rest of the album, for some reason, I think it works really, really well. So I don't really know what shifted. I just think that when listening to it in full with the album, I think it fits really well. The chorus is super catchy, so it really does, make sense this was a single. The bridge gives me like movie vibes, like driving in the car in the summer vibes, because of the way that it just builds. It's a beautiful track. Definitely want to like listen to this by the beach or something this summer, because that's the vibe it gives me, and I love it. The next song is Ravine, and I have to be in a certain mood to want to listen to this one. I don't know, it is probably the slowest song on the album, and it's very much the ballad of the album, and it really showcases Kelsey's range. I mean, she sings beautifully in this song, and she has mentioned on her socials that this is one of her favorite songs on the album. I think it's a beautiful track. She did a great job with writing it. The saxophone shows up again in this, which gives that jazzy kind of sad vibe, which really fits in this point in the album. I like that, you know, we took a few songs and now the saxophone is back. It ends on a really somber note of her saying, "I'm only 27, but I might as well be dead." So, you know, once again, a very honest track, a really somber track, but it works. It's kind of right in the middle of the album, so I get it. And her voice is beautiful, and I just have to be in a very certain mood to want to listen to it. Sometimes I'm like jamming to the rest of her stuff, and then this comes on, and I do skip it sometimes, because it's like, I don't know, sometimes I'm just not in that sad mood. But if you are, great song. The 7th song is Waking Up Exhausted. Before we had Waking Up Crying is the first song, now we have Waking Up Exhausted as the 7th song. Love that. This is the shortest song on the album at 1:40. It seems sort of like a song of defeat after the ballad. You know, she complains about waking up nauseous and exhausted, so it just seems like she's sort of defeated and she doesn't know what to do in this song. It also seems like the sister song to Waking Up Crying, like I mentioned. They are kind of similar in that they have these honest lyrics, but I like that they're spread apart in the album. I do think it works really well. The song ends with her saying, "Welcome to my shit show, everybody. I bet this isn't what you thought you were getting into tonight. And now it's too late." You're already here. I don't know, the first time I listened to this, I just remember like making breakfast and that part came on. And she's just like, "Welcome to my shit show, everybody." And it's just, you know, I talked to her, I've met her before, so like you really recognize her voice. And I don't know why it made me laugh. Maybe it's meant to be in there to kind of be humorous after all of these crazy emotions, you know, meant to lighten the mood. But I thought it was really funny. It sort of sounds distant, like it sounds like she's maybe on stage at the mic and she's just like, "Welcome to my shit show, everybody." Like to the audience, that's what it seems like. So it sort of echoes and that fades out, you know, at the end of the song, which I think is so funny. This is a really interesting point in the album because you have this song, and then next we have Bad Time, which features Eric Egan from Heart Attack Man. Love him so much. This is another short song. This is only 1:41, and this is low-key my favorite song on the album. I wish it was longer. I love this song. I keep sending this song to people because A, it has Eric in it, and Kelsey, like Eric and Kelsey together, such an iconic duo, and I just love they brought him in for this because their voices work really well together. Sometimes they're kind of singing back and forth. There's moments where they're singing together, but I just love his feature. I think it does such a good job of adding something new to the song, to the album. I also love the beat. This song is so fun to sing along to. I think that's why it's my favorite. I mean, it has Eric in it and that definitely helps, but I just love like them going back and forth. I love the beat. I love the humorous lyrics. My favorite lyric is where Kelsey says, "I don't deserve the high appraisal for pretending that I'm stable or crying underneath the tip jar on our merch table." I mean, that's everything. Like, I laughed so hard when I heard this song because they both have such attitude in their voices and it works so well. And at the end, it ends with her saying, "Thanks for coming to my show. I'm a fucking phony." So like, I don't know, this song is great. Nobody be talking about this song, but I appreciate it so much. It definitely adds some humor to the album, like I said. The ending of the album is super emotional, and the beginning is too, and so these funny little short songs in the middle I think help to break that up. So I really love the placement of this song. Coming up next, we have Dolly, which is a beautiful song. I love the ukulele playing in the background. It's definitely the folkiest song on the album, and it gives me major country vibes. The way that Kelsey is sort of singing some lines with an accent. It does remind me of more older Jetty Bones, because I used to kind of think of Jetty Bones as a folk band when I first heard them. So it definitely gives me, like, you know, memories of their roots. So I think I like this song. It's maybe one of my least favorite just because of the country vibe. I'm not a huge country fan, but I appreciate what they were going for. I understand why they did it, so definitely a cool song. The 10th song on the album is Bad Trick. This song also reminds me of their last EP because of the beat, and I loved their last EP so much, the one that's just a line. Great EP, so this definitely reminds me of that. Near the end in the background, Kelsey says, "I keep waking up exhausted and I want to laugh, but I woke up crying." So definitely, you know, calling back to Waking Up Exhausted, Waking Up Crying, those songs. A total mention of the earlier songs on the album, which you know I love that kind of stuff so much. I'm a sucker for that those kind of callbacks. I love it. In my opinion, I think this could have been the last song on the album just because of the way it ties everything together. You know, you're hearing her talk about other songs on the album and it has a really cool ending. So the album could have ended here, but it didn't. The last song on the album is Bug Life, which is the longest song on the album at 4 minutes 22 seconds. It's also one of the saddest songs on the album, but it's also such a complex song, and I think that I don't know if it was really considered an experimental song for her. I think that she mentioned somewhere on Twitter that this was the first song she wrote for the album, which is a bit surprising because, like I said, it's such a complex song. It talks about feeling like a bug that everyone wants to squish, but like nobody wants to and actually does it because they don't want to have the mess. Like, there's a lot of metaphors. I appreciate it. It's a really simple song with Kelsey's voice and a guitar, but the ending is like, if you listen to it with headphones, it's the coolest thing because it really builds up. And the last minute and a half include these voicemails overlaid with Kelsey's voice that are from like her friends and her family, asking like if she's okay, asking where she is, apologizing. This part of the song, my mind went to, maybe this is a dark place, but like the calls that you would give to somebody who is like really depressed, like not answering their phone and like maybe is on suicide watch or something. I don't know if that was the message behind the story. I actually would love to know more details about what the kind of ending of this album means and this song means, because that is what I associate with her. I mean, she's been very vocal on Twitter about having a suicide attempt happen years ago, and I don't know if that is connected to this at all, but it does kind of sound like that. It's a really emotional piece at the end, and like I said, listening to it with headphones is so cool because it goes back and forth between the voicemails. Like one will be in this ear, one will be in the other, but you still hear her singing and you still hear the guitar, and I don't know, there's just like these apologies while she's softly singing with the acoustic guitar. It's just a very haunting way to end the album, but sort of bittersweet at the same time. I don't even know. I think it's a crazy way to end the album, but a really beautifully artistic way to do it, and it's something I really haven't heard anything like it from her before, so I applaud it. I think it's a great way to end the album. You know, it's a very raw and honest album, so it fits with the theme, definitely. It's not the most lighthearted album, but you know, she mentions some cute little quirks here and there and some humorous notes, so I think it's a cool way to end it. My overall thoughts on the album is that this album has everything. It's got ballads, it's got folk songs, it's got poppier songs, country songs, dance songs. I mean, I feel like there's something for everybody in this album in a way, which I think is super cool. I haven't disliked anything Jetty Bones has put out, so I'm so proud of them for this album because I love it. I think it's great. I've been listening to it a ton the last few months. I know it kind of came out a while ago. It came out late February, but I've just been listening to it so much. And for Jetty Bones' first debut album, I think Kelsey did an amazing job with these songs. You know, she took risks in so many genres, and she even talked about being nervous after she got signed to Rise Records to release this, or to send it to them, because it didn't sound a lot like her old stuff, you know, and she was worried that they weren't gonna like maybe the country parts or the folksy songs, and obviously they did, because, you know, she's still signed to them and they helped her release it. But I don't know, I really like the progression of the band's sound. I'm not mad at it. I think hearing some of these songs live would be so cool. Jetty Bones shows are really emotional, but really, really fun, and definitely give you a community vibe. And so I think that hearing these honest songs where people can definitely relate to them would be a really, really cool, you know, cool experience to hear live for sure. And the lyrics are so honest and relatable, yet the beats are still fun, which I love about this band, because I love bands that can do that. They can have these honest, raw lyrics, but still make you want to dance to them. Like dancing away to my problems. You know, I feel like it's just really, really magical when they can do that. But yeah, I'm so proud of Jetty Bones for releasing this album. I think it's a fantastic debut album. There you guys go. That is my album review of Jetty Bones' debut full-length album, Pushback. Leave a comment down below letting me know if you guys have listened to this album, what your favorite song is on it. Tell me your thoughts. And if you haven't listened to Jetty Bones before, definitely check it out. Check out some of the singles, but also go back and check out her old stuff, because like I said, this band is very much kind of in a progression phase. So check out all of their stuff, because if you like more folk stuff, you'll probably like their older things. If you like more experimental pop stuff, this album would be for you. Also their EP they put out before this, the one that's just called like a line dash, you'd probably like that as well. So give them a listen, check them out, let me know what you think. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!